Today we're talking about 5 mistakes newbie DJs make, which I see all the time. We're launching straight into it. Mistake number 1, not knowing your music. Now I get it, if you are new, you're probably building your record collection, you're downloading loads and loads of music. However, not knowing your music in terms of the structure, where the intro is, the breakdown is, the drop is going to cause you some problems. Now, I completely understand that when you're building a new collection, it's hard to know exactly the ins and outs of all of your individual tracks. However, you should still learn to recognize beats, bars, and phrases. Also as well, some analysis of your tracks ahead of a gig will set you up for success, and also being methodical when setting up your cue points. If you are methodical in how you set up your cue points and you are doing this ahead of playing out, this is actually going to help you in terms of knowing the structure of your tracks. I also have a video on beats, bars and phrases, link down in the description down below. Mistake number 2 then is not going for the right type of gigs. I see so many newbie DJs that want to be a specialist DJ, so playing drum and bass, tech house, whatever it may be, but they're trying to go for gigs in the commercial high street clubs. Now, unfortunately, this is the wrong way to go about it, because in the commercial high street clubs, it's likely that you are going to have to play a variety of different music, particularly in the main rooms. Maybe R&B, dance, a bit of drum and bass, depending on where you are. So if you are wanting to be a specialist DJ playing one particular genre of music, you need to either be targeting the venues that are playing that type of music, or if you're playing in high street nightclubs, targeting the high street clubs that have niche rooms. So for example, if you're playing in a multi-room venue, sometimes there is a party room, sometimes there's an R&B room, and then the main room could be more house music led. But make sure that you are targeting the right types of venues, the right venue managers, the right promoters in terms of the types of gigs that you want to play. If you find yourself playing the wrong type of music in the wrong gig, then unfortunately it's not going to lead to repeat bookings. You're probably going to end up pissing off the manager, and it's going to damage your reputation in the long term. Mistake number 3 is not having enough music. Now that sounds like a bit of a weird one, but hear me out with this one. I've actually DJed with a couple of warm-up DJs who were pretty new, up and comers, and they brought along their USB stick to the gig, and they didn't have enough music on to fill their hour-and-a-half slot that they were booked to do before I went on. It happened once and I was like, okay, probably won't happen again. And then it happened again, but with a different warm-up DJ. So make sure that you have got enough music for your set. Now, if you're bringing a laptop and you're downloading loads of music every week, then it's going to be absolutely fine. But if you're bringing a USB stick, if you're playing for say an hour, I would say make sure that you've got 3 hours worth of tracks, because you might mix them a bit quicker than you thought. You also want to have a little bit of flexibility to take the set in a slightly different direction if the crowd aren't really going for it. So I would say have more than enough music for your set. Mistake number 4 then, and this is an absolutely key one, is reading a crowd or not reading the crowd. This is a skill that takes a lot of time to master, and it's a pretty hard one to do. It is something that comes with experience, that you are going to get better with it over time. However, what is not great is if you are a fairly new DJ and you are just literally focused on the decks, or you're just looking at your laptop the whole time, okay? Try not to get too caught up in the technical skills, so like the looping, the effects, or what's happening on the laptop screen. You need to also be paying attention to what is going on in the room. When you drop a track, who is leaving the dance floor, who is joining the dance floor? Are people around the room at the bars tapping their feet and looking like they're enjoying the music? Are there more girls in the club than guys? Have a look at all of these dynamics, because it will help you to shape your set. Now, I do have a fuller video on how to read a crowd, link again down in the description down below. But key thing is, if you're starting out as a DJ, look at what is being enjoyed by the people in front of you, and try and play more of what the crowd are enjoying. You are there for them, you're not there for yourself. Finally, mistake number 5, and that is playing every single customer's request. You are not a jukebox, you are also not someone's personal Spotify playlist, okay? Use requests as a guide. If you end up playing every single customer's request, you'll damage the flow of your night. I'm not saying that all requests are bad. Some people might request a song that will fit quite nicely into what you're currently playing, or to something that you might be playing later on, and that's absolutely fine. You could probably then mix in that particular request. But if the song is going to completely throw your night into a different direction, or because you're getting loads of requests, it's just gonna chop and change your night too much, then I would honestly avoid it. They are just requests, they're not compulsory, and I just think that if you go with every single person's request, you're gonna end up staring at an empty dance floor. And if you're playing in a multi-room venue like the ones that I do, some people don't understand the concept of music policies. Like, people come up to me sometimes in the main room and ask for party music, and I just direct them into the room that they need to go in, because people just don't get the difference between rooms, especially after a few drinks. Hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you want some more information on how to handle requests, then please do check out that video up there next, and I will see you in the next one.